Hi, Joyce Buford here, creator of Uncover Your Hidden Genius, podcast Second Wind with Joyce. And today we're continuing with our fourth recording on goals. And what we'll be talking about today is begin with the end. A very good way to make sure that you achieve your goals is to begin with the end in mind. In other words, to start out knowing exactly what you want to achieve and the steps that you're going to need to take to achieve them. Unfortunately, most people go about this completely wrong way. Let's say you're here and now, and you have an idea, a vague idea of the sort of thing you want. You might head off in one direction to try and achieve that goal, and you miss it entirely. So you have another one go. You have another go at it. You try again another way of achieving your goal, and still you miss it entirely. Then after a lot more hassle, a lot more decisions, and a lot more research, and a lot more messing around, and a lot more time, you sort of head off in the direction that you think might be the right one. And more by luck than judgment, you reach the point of achieving your goal. You think you've done very well. But the trouble is, there is a much better way of doing it. If you start with your goal, you start by deciding exactly what it is that you want to achieve. Whatever your goal objective is, and then you work back from your goal to where you are now. You'll find it much, much easier to know exactly the steps you need to go through. You'll need to know exactly what you need to accomplish each step of the way. It's a bit like if you're in a strange city and you get lost and you look at a map. Let's say you haven't gotten a sat-nav or a GPS, but you're looking at a plain old-fashioned map, like these people here in the Antwerp area are other parts of the country. You need to go somewhere. Now, quite often these public maps that they have on walls and things will have little arrows saying you are here. Often the easiest way to find where you want to go is to find where you want to go on the map and then work back to where you are at that particular moment. Then you can retrace your route backwards. In other words, from where you are now to where you want to go. It's easier to locate where you are, where you want to go first, and then work your way back to where you are at the moment. Then try and sort of blunder your way through the various streets, especially if you're not really familiar with the town or city that you're in. Try it. It does work, and it does work very well. Okay, now let's give an example here of how you can apply these techniques to your life. Let's say, for the sake of example, you've decided that you want to buy a classic sports car like this 1956 MG that I have here. What steps are you going to need to go through in order to achieve your goal of buying a classic MG? Let's start at the end, and your ultimate goal, your ultimate objective is to drive the car of your dreams. That's what you want to do. But it is an MG or some other type of car. That's the ultimate objective. That's the ultimate goal. Drive the car of your dreams. Wow. In order to drive the car of your dreams, you're going to need to do a deal and purchase it from its former owner. In order to get to that stage, you're going to need to view cars. You probably won't buy the first one that you look at, so you need to view several cars. You're going to need to take test drives, and you're going to decide on the one that you want. Now, in order to view cars and go on test drives, etc., you need to find these cars to begin with. The way that you're going to do that is to scan classic car magazines, look at classic car websites, and so on. Of course, there's not a lot of point in doing that unless you have enough money to buy a classic car in the first place. You're going to need to save up and or arrange a car loan so you know exactly how much money you have to spend on your classic car. Now you can see the path that you need to follow in order to drive the car of your dreams. First thing you have to do is save up and or arrange a car loan. Then, when you've done that, you need to scan classic car magazines or websites. When you've done that, you want to view cars, take a test drive, decide the one you want. Then you're going to do a deal and purchase the car from the former owner. Then there you go. You've reached your goal, drive the car of your dreams, but you know you're going to be able to achieve each one of these smaller goals, each step along the way, because you know exactly what it is you need to do to get to the stage where you can meet that goal. So you know exactly what you need to do. You know that your goal can be achieved. Of course, this is a good way always feeding our goals that are frankly unachievable, because you'll know that you won't be able to get to the next step before you're working your way back. So you're not going to sort of take a leap in the dark, so to speak, because you know exactly what you have to do. If it can't be achieved, you'll know that before you start out. Therefore, success is pretty much guaranteed if you follow this particular pattern. Now, this whole system was devised by the late Dr. Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It is without a doubt one of the best books on goal setting and life organizing that I've ever read. You can still get it on Amazon and other good book shops. It's certainly worth getting and reading because it is, like I said, one of the best books that I know of all this particular subject. Like he says, when you begin with the end in mind, you know exactly what you need to do to achieve your goals and be successful. Here's wishing you a good start on making your goals. Begin with the end in mind.